Mickey here, Doctor of Physical Therapy at Greencastle Physical Therapy. I'm here with my assistant, Kelsey. We are going to go over the side plank. So a variation of a plank that is designed to work more the waist, the obliques. And so to do this, you are going to have a mat of some kind. You can use a yoga mat, something. You can use carpet, but sometimes that can cause some brush burns on the elbows, so be a little more careful there. Something that just has a little bit of cushion for joints. So we are going to get on our side. We're going to start in a modified version. So we're going to be on our elbow and our knees. So when we get on our knees, we're going to have you bend the feet back. So they're about 90 degrees. If you can't get them quite that far, you can bend them out a little bit more here, but trying to get somewhere in that range. So we'll have that elbow right underneath the shoulder. Maybe slide that just a little bit farther. So when we lift up, the elbow and the shoulder are kind of right in a straight line. That makes us work the shoulder a little bit too here. So we're going to kind of make sure we're nice and stretched out through that shoulder. Don't sink into the shoulder so that that shoulder and the shoulder blade come up towards your ear. Keep them lifted and onto the back. As we go, then we'll come down. So in the waist, we want to make sure that our hips are right in line with our shoulders. I'm going to have you push your hips forward just a little bit. Lift into the waist, belly pulling in so everything's kind of coming to center. And you can also add a little bit of a twist to the hips here too. Engage the glutes as we lift up to that entire body. Common mistakes I see is that people try and rotate backwards. This is going to make it uncomfortable for us. This is not very usual compensation, or forwards. So those compensations, those twists, just ask us to use some different muscles. We really want to make sure we're using the outer muscles in that waist. We don't want this feeling too close to the spine because it could get a little uncomfortable. So the outer muscles working well here. In this position, we can hold, you can go and relax now. We can hold 10 seconds, do about 5 repetitions, work your way up to 60 seconds or longer to get a good challenge. Another thing to pay attention to as you go through all of these, she does a good job as she does it, but we want to keep that head in a good position too. We don't want our neck stinking down or looking down towards the floor or looking up. We want a neutral spine from top to bottom. So that is the first variation of a side plank. The next one is kind of half in between a full side plank and kind of that modified version. So when we lift up, now we'll extend the top foot, still being on that bottom knee here. Same concepts, head in a good position, lifted through that shoulder blade in the shoulder, and then make sure we're not arching our back. So I'm gonna have you tuck that tailbone underneath a little bit. Engage the glutes, lift it nice and tall through that waist, and you can lower back down. Same thing, holding for 10 seconds. You can do 5 repetitions and work your way up to less repetitions, but longer holds. The last one on the forearm, and now we'll go into a full side plank. So we'll go up on the feet. You can put one foot in front of the other as a slight variation there to make this just a little bit easier if you can't quite get all the way up into it. All of the same concepts apply though. Lifted through the shoulder and the shoulder blade, head in a good position, belly pulled in, tailbone tucked just a little bit, glutes pressing those hips forward and really lifting those hips up in the air, trying to use the waist to hold us in place here. Go ahead and relax back down. If you feel this too much in the shoulder, chances are you're not engaging the waist and the pelvis the way that we need to. So make sure we keep a nice active lift through the pelvis. Again, no twisting forward and backwards from there. The last variation here gets a little bit more challenge through the shoulder. So you can do modified versions of this one as well. We're gonna jump right to the full version. So now we're gonna be on the hand lifting up. She's gonna go to that slightly modified foot in front of the other. You can do one foot on top as well. So nice and tall through here. We're trying to get that rotation back, that external rotation of the biceps. That way our shoulder blade, our shoulder are gonna be working pretty hard here. Try and stay lifted through that shoulder blade. We're sinking back a little bit here. This is a hard one. I'm lifting through the waist, pressing those hips forward. So we're getting a nice work through the entire body here, the upper quarter, the spine, and the hips. Go ahead and lower back down before she starts to pant on me. That one, same thing, hold 10 seconds, 5 repetitions. You can work your way up to higher holds, longer holds, but really good at getting the entire body, making sure we're not twisting, and really trying to be like a plank, like a board. So not twisted, not curved in any way.